Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star Part 305 based on novel. So let's start. Not too far away, there was another stone pillar. At first glance, it was not any different from the other stone pillars. However, taking a closer look, one could see that on the surface of that stone pillar, there was a faint claw mark. The size of it was similar to that of an average earthling's palm, but it only had 4 fingers. The print was deeply etched onto that stone pillar. A claw mark, said Luo Feng. Who would leave a claw mark? Given this flurry of flames, even ordinary universe masters with their true treasure armors would be completely burned to death. Who would come here? Luo Feng was inwardly puzzled. The entrance of Tilted Peak Sector's main mountain peak could be found within the crack within that cross-section, and Luo Feng had made it inside the mountain by traveling against the current flow of the mysterious space of the water domain. Based on his position, he calculated that he ought to be located at the lower region of Tilted Peak Sector's main mountain peak. From top to bottom, deeper within Tilted Peak Sector. This was definitely not an ordinary region. There was no information about this stone pillar in the human race's records, which confirmed that this place was not an ordinary region. One must be an extraordinary great being in order to make it here, so this was probably left by a universe supreme being, Luo Feng speculated. Star Tower flew over to the stone pillar. As tiny as a sesame seed, Star Tower observed the claw mark most meticulously. The gravel in the middle of the claw mark. Luo Feng's eyes lit up. The claw mark was composed of countless pieces of gravel, and the area that the claw mark was etched on was hence heavily spotted with it. The countless pieces of gravel looked incredibly beautiful in the faintly refracted space, but in the middle, it exuded traces of a particular aura, an aura that was quite uncommon. Go in and take a look. The peak of Star Tower grazed the gravel lightly. The entirety of Star Tower was immediately sucked into one of the spaces contained within the gravel. Within the space found inside the gravel, the surrounding temperature was much lower. It was almost as low as the temperature within the core of a star. Comparing this temperature to the temperature of the outside world, which was enough to completely burn up the godly power of a universe master, this was much more bearable. Shua! Mosha Body appeared out of thin air, and Star Tower landed on the shoulders of Mosha Body. This space. Mosha Body looked around its surroundings. With one glance, the vast space was filled with a deathly stillness. Other than the numerous mountains composed of endless mountain rocks and the vast land, there was nothing special about it. Previously, Luo Feng had entered a space within one of the grains of sand, and it had also contained this state of deathly stillness, nothing special at all. This piece of gravel is obviously something different. I don't believe there is nothing special here. Golden Country. Luo Feng made a move in his mind. An endless, hazy golden light fell upon the space in an instant. Within the space, the rocky earth and mountains did not show anything special. The mountain rocks in Tilted Peak Sector were very special. Firstly, they were incomparably hard and sturdy. Even if one were to exert full force to destroy some of those rocks, the damaged area would coagulate and recover its original state. Secondly, godly power, territories, against nearly everything, they were almost impenetrable. The rocks and mountains within this gravel space do not seem special at all. They are only ordinary mountain rocks. This gravel space itself, indeed, has a unique spot. Mosha Body revealed a trace of delight. With one step, it crossed over a distance of thousands of kilometers to arrive at a mountain peak. On that mountain peak, there was a smooth slab of a rock wall where a strange bout of waves could be found. On the floor before this rock wall, there were 2 items. One was a green pendant that had strange beast carvings decorating its surface. The other was a silk remnant of incomparable beauty. The silk remnant was an intricate mix of black and gold, and it exuded an aura that made Mosha Body feel incredibly comfortable. These 2 items. Mosha Body was extremely delighted. After all, he could rely on the human race's information vault to identify quite a sizable number of items that he did not recognize. At least, he had no trouble identifying the 2 items before him. These are items from Universe Boat, one of the 3 most dangerous lands. Luo Feng looked at that green beast carvings pendant. It's been said that, with this item in possession, one holds special authority within Universe Boat. The risk of danger is lower, and there is a cultivation space exclusive to anyone with this pendant. The Universe Boat is an immeasurably massive yet damaged planet ship. How could a damaged planet ship be listed as one of the 3 most dangerous lands? Firstly, Universe Boat was ridiculously massive. The entire planet ship was hundreds of millions of light-years in size, and it could swallow endless amounts of chaotic energy, which would cause the surroundings of the entire ship to be enveloped by a dangerous and severe atmosphere. Internally, Universe Boat was fraught with danger. Universe Boat had appeared endless eras ago. Even before the birth of the 2 holy lands, Universe Boat had been there. No one knew its origins. Also, Universe Boat liked to swallow miniature universes. Damaged miniature universes were often attracted to it, only to be sucked in and swallowed. Because of this occurrence, it had gained its appropriate name, Universe Boat. This damaged, superplanet ship had endless power, yet it also had endless dangers and hidden treasures. The dangers within it were enough to annihilate Universe Supreme Masters. And the hidden treasures within it were enough to make any great being from Universe Ocean go crazy with longing for them. Tokens were a peculiar kind of item within the Universe Boat. So long as one carried a token wherever he went, some of the dangerous lands might no longer be dangerous to him, although this was not applicable to all the dangerous lands. Every token had a gigantic secret chamber that corresponded to it. Every secret chamber had an isolated space all its own. Luo Feng looked at the other item. Pulling Traces Diagram. The first item was a token from Universe Boat. The other was a Pulling Traces Diagram. Previously, Yuan Ao Master had driven various parties into a frenzied battle for the Pulling Traces Diagram. Pulling traces were a very precious kind of material. It was an important material used to produce illusion-type true treasures, as it had a natural calming effect on one's mood. The pieces Luo Feng had gained previously were merely remnants that were much too small. This Pulling Traces diagram before him. Compared to the complete one that Yuan Ao Master had taken out previously, this seemed to be slightly bigger, and the aura it exuded made Moshe body feel extremely comfortable. What extravagance in the use of threads of pulling traces to be able to make such a big piece, Luo Feng mused. So extravagant that perhaps only a Universe Supreme Master could afford to do this. Moshe body stretched out to grab the Pulling Traces diagram. A thread of godly power penetrated the cloth. His consciousness also entered the Pulling Traces diagram. Instantly, he seemed to enter a virtual space. Within this virtual space was a virtual, gigantic Universe Boat. A strand of red thread strung together certain regions within the Universe Boat. In this virtual space, the dangers within each region were simulated as though they were real, and descriptions of how to avoid these dangers and the ways to traverse these dangerous lands were shown. This is part of the map of a Universe Boat. Moshe body immediately retracted his godly power. He gained an understanding almost instantly. He became delirious with joy. The 3 most dangerous lands were on par with one another. Tilted Peak Sector, Universe Boat, and flowing countless mountains were places that could give birth to numerous supreme true treasures, where pinnacle treasures were more commonly seen. Of course, precious treasures always went hand in hand with terrifying environments. Therefore, the more detailed and comprehensive a map was, the more precious it would be. This map was as good as the one that Yuan Ao Master had previously taken out. In terms of value, it was no less than a strange godly wood. And it belonged solely to Luo Feng. A bout of waves suddenly burst out from the rock wall before him. Luo Feng, who had just picked up the green token, could not help looking up. A scene was unfolding on the rock wall before him. 2 vague figures began to appear. One was an immeasurable beauty whose entire body was covered with countless green leaves. Looking at her was like looking at the most exuberant existence of the universe. Luo Feng felt immeasurable comfort. The other figure was wearing a long, grey robe. At first glance, he looked like a piece of dead wood, and his head bore some resemblance to crystal. He was bald and did not have ears or a nose, only 3 eyes and a mouth. "I am Jie Fanzi," the grey-robed figure said. "I am Zhen Lin, said the beautiful lady wrapped in countless green leaves, also introducing herself. The grey-robed figure continued, because you picked up the 2 items I left behind, you are able to see these images taken as a memento. What we cannot know is, by the time you see this, which reincarnation era it will be. As the grey-robed figure's mouth moved, strange waves formed. It spoke in a language Luophone was not familiar with, but when the waves were transmitted to his brain, he seemed to naturally understand everything the figure was saying. To a certain extent, there was no need for language. The waves of one another's willpower enabled them to establish mutual understanding. Which reincarnation era? Luophone was secretly in shock. These 2 fellows. The human databank had already provided Luophone with information on some terrifying figures from the 3 major universe eras and 2 holy lands, yet apparently, there was no information about these 2, Jie Fanzi and Zhen Lin. He had never heard of them before. Clearly, they were not life forms from any of the 3 major universe reincarnation eras. I am a lone supreme master, the grey-robed figure continued. Before my last fight, my inheritance, my countless efforts, I do not wish for them to go to waste. So, on my way to try for that breakthrough in reincarnation, I left a token and a map of the universe ocean here. That token represents an isolated space within the universe boat. Other than my supreme true treasure that I brought along with me, I have left the rest of what I own there. I only hope that successors shall bring glory to my legacy. And, if possible, hand down the various techniques and knowledge I have created to later generations, thus providing them with meaning to live on. This is not a demand, the grey-robed figure clarified. I am in no position to ask too much of a great being from numerous reincarnation eras in the future. Luophone's heart started to beat faster. Damn! Pulling Trace's diagram and the green token from Universe Boat were actually just keys. A lone Universe Supreme Master only took his supreme true treasure with him and left the rest of his belongings there. The riches of a Universe Supreme Master could be incomparably intimidating, like how much huge Axe Creator had contributed to the human race. The lone wanderer sitting mountain guest, for instance, did not bother himself with pinnacle true treasures at all. And Dark Universe Creator had immediately said he wanted the strange object Godlywood and was willing to use his pinnacle true treasures to compensate the various parties in exchange for it. To the lone Universe Supreme Masters, some of these pinnacle true treasures were worthless. Another wave that sounded full of vitality was transmitted to Luophone. Junior. The beautiful lady had spoken up, too. I, Junlin, left behind my inheritance, too. As for the token and the map, they are kept at a distance of around 300 light-years away from here. If you are capable enough, there is no harm looking around. Whether you are able to find it or not depends on your luck. Don't listen to her, said the grey-robed figure. This is already the core of Tilted Peak Sector, where danger lurks all over. Where even Universe Supreme Masters are highly likely to be annihilated. It is said that some Universe Supreme Masters who succeeded in breaking through reincarnations left tokens within their surroundings, but to be able to obtain those tokens, one would need luck. A scouring around for these tokens would be far too dangerous. We have lived for almost 3 reincarnation eras. Our limits are nearing. We only have one last gamble to make to break through this round of reincarnation. If we achieve a breakthrough, then we can become eternal existences and even establish a sacred universe. The universe ocean of today only has one sacred universe, said the lady wrapped in green leaves. I am going to see to it that universe ocean has 2 sacred universes. Ha ha. Junlin, let's go. Let's go. The grey-robed figure and lady covered with green leaves vanished in a flash and were closely followed by the images that were kept as mementos. These gradually dispersed from sight too. Luophone stood before the rock wall but was motionless for quite some time. If I survive the incarnation, I can live forever. Luophone whispered. This so-called incarnation might be a huge secret in Universe Ocean. However, it's too far from me. There are 3 incarnation eras in total, and I've only lived a short while. Luophone then put everything away, but he didn't find anything using Golden Country. Then Luophone left the space on Star Tower. He inspected the cast cave for a long time, but he couldn't find anything else. Besides, based on the message left by Jie Fanzi and Zhen Lin, the Cast Cave was already the core area of Tilted Peak Sector where even Universe Supreme Masters could be killed. I found some stuff left by Jie Fanzi by luck. I can't adventure in the core area. I'll regret it forever if Star Tower gets trapped somewhere. Luo Feng turned Star Tower around and went back. It had been an easy trip. He had recorded the path before, so he arrived back to the wing space quickly. After another 2 months, he arrived back in the cave where he had been. Luo Feng didn't search for valuables. Instead, he went back to the original universe. 1 month later, in the original universe, human territory, Earth. In a city in Asia, in the corner of a restaurant, a black-haired man in casual clothing sat with a teapot and a teacup. There were all sorts of conversations in the restaurant. The investment in the Mo-YA system this time is a huge mistake. We cooperated with the emperor of that system because we want to make things smoother, which is why we gave him 10% of the shares. That emperor is too greedy and tried to gain from the investment. Humph. He thinks we can't do anything to him just because it's far from our Ganwu universe country. Humph. It's all too easy for us to crush him. I almost became a domain lord. Easy. I gave 3 life planets to have a baby on Earth. Luo Feng couldn't help laughing. Those who could live on Earth were the big families and elites of the Earthling bloodline. Ah, Feng, said a voice. Luo Feng raised his head. A seemingly humble man walked toward Luo Feng and smiled at him. He sat down across from Luo Feng. Luo Feng smiled. Wei Wang. They can't hear us. Wei Wang looked around. They won't remember anything, said Luo Feng. Impressive. Wei Wang gave a thumbs up. Who do you think I am? Luo Feng asked with a smile. You're good, said Wei Wang. Everyone knows you're incredible. Why did you pick this place? To listen and observe more, said Luo Feng. Those who live on Earth are the elites of the Earthlings. I can find out more about the Earthlings by listening to their conversations. Wei Wang nodded. Why are you still at the 9th level of Domain Lord? Asked Luo Feng. With the resources I gave you, it should be very easy for you to become undying. Wei Wang had been friends with Luo Feng forever, and Luo Feng was as close to Wei Wang as to Luo Hua. When he was the envoy of Ganwu, Wei Wang was already at star level, and he had turned universe level soon after that. Luo Feng had provided as many resources as possible to his parents, his wife, his brother Luo Hua, and Wei Wang. He needed to make sure that they became undying. As for his sons Luo Ping and Luo Hai, he was stricter. And as for his grandchildren and other descendants, they needed to take care of themselves. He wasn't able to supply endless resources to them, just like those other friends on Earth. I still have a long time to go, said Wei Wang. I can live as a domain lord for another several million years. Fine. I'll practice and become a sector lord. That's more like it. Although his status was surging, Luo Feng had never shown any superiority in front of his brother Wei Wang, which was why Wei Wang still treated Luo Feng as an ordinary person. They talked until dark, and thoughts flooded Luo Feng's mind. I have 3 things on hand that I need to deal with, thought Luo Feng. I need to take the White Wing, but I need to sharpen my willpower and get it to reach the Universe Supreme Master level. There are plenty of places in the lands of extremists for me to do that. Second, the object left by Jie Fanzi. Jie Fanzi, I know you're powerful, but you left your valuables in Universe Boat. Aren't you torturing me? And third, teacher sitting mountain guest. I can tell from the White Wing, Jie Fanzi, and Zhen Lin that even Universe Supreme Masters have things to worry about. Teacher sitting mountain guest still devoted so much energy cultivating disciples, and he even gives a supreme true treasure to his disciples. I don't believe there aren't any other plans behind this. Luo Feng remembered Sitting Mountain Guest's plan. Although he respected and trusted Sitting Mountain Guest, he still needed to be careful. I don't have time to think about teacher Sitting Mountain Guest. The more powerful I get, the more ways I have to deal with those difficulties. I'll improve my power now. As far as getting the white wing back, it is broken and needs lots of precious materials. The valuables left by Jie Fanzi are enough to recover the white wing. Luo Feng had a good plan, but neither the white wing nor the valuables were easy to acquire. He had located the valuables in Tilted Peak sector by luck. However, it wasn't that easy to get the valuables in Universe Boat. He had the map, but he needed to venture in personally. I'll choose Universe Boat as the place to sharpen my willpower, Luo Feng thought. I need more information about Universe Boat. After all, that's one of the 3 lands of extremis. Even teacher Primal Chaos City leader could die there. I must be cautious. The valuables left by Jie Fanzi were clearly not for his disciples. Even those at the same level as Primal Chaos City leader couldn't guarantee they could get such valuables. Incarnation. It seems there's an incarnation in Tilted Peak sector. There might be lots of valuables left by Universe Supreme Masters. Luo Feng could extrapolate that there might be lots of valuables left by generations of Universe Supreme Masters, but he didn't dare look for them without a careful plan. Luo Feng started to gather information about Universe Boat. There were 2 beings in the space of the inner area of Tilted Peak sector. A being with 3 faces, 8 arms, and hammers in each of its hands triggered a technique, and a huge phantom of a giant hammer showed up. Primal Chaos City leader, you'll have to fight me today, it said. Phantom. Primal Chaos City leader looked at it. You're from Purple Moon Holy Land. I've never heard of you. This must be the first time you have come out. Do you want me as your competitor? There were 2 Holy Land universes. The smaller one was called Purple Moon Holy Land. Yes, you're my competitor, Primal Chaos City leader. The golden armored being had 3 faces, fierce, gentle, and indifferent. The fierce one was facing City Chaos City leader. I picked the stronger ones. Do it, said Primal Chaos City leader. Okay, I'll see how powerful this Primal Chaos City leader is. The golden armored being started to make attacks. The hammers became blurry and merged with the phantom. They became a giant godly hammer. The space around the hammer was annihilated. A supreme technique. Primal Chaos City leader shook his head. Chaos, move. Primal Chaos City leader slapped at it. His palm became larger, turning golden. A universe was formed in the palm, and all sorts of energies were born. The giant golden palm hit the godly hammer. The hammer crumbled, and the golden armored great being bounced back. The wind in the distance froze him. And then, the ice broke, and the great being went out. No wonder you're Primal Chaos City leader, he roared. Ancestor said you have the highest chance of becoming a Universe Supreme Master. 1 palm and you defeated me. I'm being too arrogant. The great being disappeared. The highest chance to become a Universe Supreme Master? Primal Chaos City leader whispered. The ancestors of the 2 Holy Lands are never seen by anyone. That ancestor from Purple Moon Holy Land said something like that about me, so lots of Universe Masters from that Holy Land would come to fight me. It was all too common that Primal Chaos City leader ran into beings from the Holy Land who wanted to fight him. His godly power was far inferior to Star River Master. However, he was known for being powerful. Huge Axe founder sent Primal Chaos City leader a message, Chaos, Chaos. Ha ha. I got extremely lucky and acquired a Huge Axe Supreme True Treasure. Tell the other Universe Masters of us humans that it's something to celebrate. A Supreme True Treasure? Huge Axe got a Supreme True Treasure. Primal Chaos City leader was exhilarated. This was something for the entire human race to celebrate. He immediately told the other Universe Masters of the human race. Soon, Luo Feng, Darkness Master, and Void Gold Master all knew about it. A Supreme True Treasure was a guarding treasure of a race. Lots of Supreme beings felt insecure, as the human race never had a Supreme True Treasure. However, Huge Axe founder had gotten a Supreme True Treasure, and it was something that thrilled all the great beings of the human race. In the virtual universe, all the supreme beings of the human race gathered. Since teacher origin was suppressed, we humans have been low-key. Now that huge axe founder has a supreme true treasure, our status in the original universe will be stabilized. I was shocked by the news. Since teacher origin was suppressed, the demon race, bug race, and automaton race all try to outpower us, especially the demon race. Now that huge axe has a supreme true treasure, the two demon ancestors won't be reckless. There were dishes and wine on the long bench. Huge axe founder and the 19 universe masters were talking in excitement. "Keep it a secret first," said huge axe founder. "I'm still in the inner area of Tilted Peak sector, and it'll take me some time to get back. No one else knows that I got a supreme true treasure, so we must keep it a secret. I'll reveal it when the time comes." "Yes." "Okay." The universe masters all nodded. The news would be made known. After all, one couldn't hide a supreme true treasure forever. Huge axe founder wasn't like Luo Feng. Luo Feng was only a universe knight, and even though he accomplished much on the engraving picture, he wasn't a top-tier universe master even with Star Tower. He was, at most, good at surviving. Huge axe founder was completely different. It was a fiesta, as this news was worth celebrating by the entire human race, showing another milestone of the power of the human race. Luo Feng. Primal Chaos City leader walked toward Luo Feng with a black wine cup. Luo Feng. "So happy today. Huge axe is best at axe techniques and he became Universe Supreme Master with an axe," said Primal Chaos City leader. "He got an axe Supreme True Treasure, and with that, huge axe will become much more powerful." Luo Feng nodded. He was right. Supreme True Treasures needed to be suitable. An axe was much better than a sword to someone who used an axe. Of course, that axe-type Supreme True Treasure had lots of other functions. "Luo Feng, you asked me for the information on Universe Boat." Primal Chaos City leader smiled. "I gave you a piece before. I just talked to Huge Axe, and he had something more detailed. I'll send it to you now." "Thank you, teacher." Luo Feng was overjoyed. Huge axe founder had the map. The more detailed the information was, the better. After all, the pulling traces diagram left by Jie Fanzi only recorded a tiny area of Universe Boat. No one had the full map of the lands of Extremis. "Teacher, I have a map of Universe Boat," said Luo Feng. "I got it by luck in Tilted Peak sector. I'll send it to you now." Which power?" The smile on Primal Chaos City leader's face froze. He gazed at Luo Feng in amazement. "Good. It's a record of the inner area of Universe Boat. The maps we humans have can barely rival the one you have. Did you get it from the great beings of the first universe era? Normally, great beings will burn the maps after reading it." Primal Chaos City leader looked at Luo Feng. "Just like we told you to burn the map last time. Only those who are extremely confident dare to carry the maps. Like me, Huge Axe, other universe masters who are good at surviving, and other universe supreme masters." Luo Feng nodded. Maps of the lands of Extremis were secrets of a race, and only the top seniors in a race could read them. Huge Axe founder would give it to other universe masters when he got one, and Luo Feng would surely give it to the race. It was contribution within the race, and the human race wouldn't trade it with other races under almost all circumstances. Trades could only happen after a discussion among the seniors or if Huge Axe founder did it himself. "I'm not able to kill those who dare to carry maps." Luo Feng shook his head. "I got the pulling traces diagram in the water area of Tilted Peak sector by luck." "Pulling traces diagram," said Primal Chaos City leader. "How luxurious. It should be left by a Universe Supreme Master." Lots of Universe Supreme Masters died during the incarnations, and lots of their valuables or maps are left in the lands of Extremis. The Universe Masters were talking. "Come here. More good news." Huge Axe founder yelled. Some Universe Masters immediately sat back down in their chairs with their eyes gleaming. Some shouted, "What? Did someone get another Supreme True Treasure? Do you really think it's that easy to get a Supreme True Treasure, Peng Gong?" Huge Axe founder looked at Luo Feng and said, Luo Feng found a pulling traces diagram of universe boat in Tilted Peak sector. Pulling traces diagram? Of universe boat? How large is the area? Usually, it's a large area for a pulling traces diagram. All the universe masters were thrilled. Huge Axe founder nodded. We now know twice as much as we knew about universe boat now, and some core areas are recorded. Lots of universe masters went to congratulate or thank Luo Feng. Luo Feng could feel the unity within the human race. Everyone wanted the best for the race. Luo Feng. Huge Axe walked to Luo Feng. Huge Axe founder, said Luo Feng. You contributed the map of the land of extremis, Huge Axe said. It's a great contribution. The race needs contributions from great beings. I should give you more than 10,000 true treasure points for that map. However, there are only a limited number of valuables. If your contribution is too large, the race can't give something equivalent back. Huge Axe looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng smiled. He understood that there were only a limited number of valuables, and they were mainly contributed by Huge Axe founder. Huge Axe founder put lots of valuables in the race without asking anything back. He gave the maps to the race, and he nurtured the race like a father. I can only give you 5,000 true treasure points, said Huge Axe founder. You give them for free, said Luo Feng. You need to be powerful. Huge Axe founder glanced at Luo Feng. No need to say no, 5,000 true treasures it is. You need to have it. Become a universe master as soon as possible. Luo Feng nodded. He felt that the human race depended on the 20 people. 19 universe masters and Huge Axe founder. And, of course, Teacher Origin. Huge Axe and Primal Chaos City leader were the leaders. I'll make more contributions, Luo Feng thought. Based on the information he got about universe boat and the map he got. Please. Luo Feng sat in a restaurant close to his home. The light poured on his body, and Luo Feng frowned. Based on the information, the keepsakes have different levels. From lower to higher, black, green, and silver. Only powerful universe masters can get the keepsakes. The green keepsakes are in the hands of universe supreme masters. As for silver keepsakes, only the great beings from the Holy Lands have them. Luo Feng frowned. Green keepsakes were in the inner area of universe boat and bordered the core area. It was extremely dangerous. Only universe supreme masters could get the green keepsakes. Oh, Jie Fanzi. Why did you have to keep the valuables somewhere so dangerous? Even my Primal Chaos City leader teacher can't guarantee to get there. And me? Luo Feng exclaimed. Within 3 months after he went back to Earth, Luo Feng left the original universe and left for Universe Ocean. He was going to Universe Boat this time. This video will end here.